It's Sunday, March 31st, about 11:30 a.m. right now. Officially on the PCT at the mile 1 marker. My aunt and her friend Sue walked with me for the first mile. So we're just having some Subway lunch here, and then they're gonna hike back to the car, and then I'm on my own until Canada. I made it to mile 6. It's about 150 right now. I just stopped for the first break of the day, other than at mile 1, for eating Subway with my aunt and her friend. Nice weather so far. It's actually really pretty out here. It's probably been 70, 75 degrees, sort of breezy, so it's warm but not hot by any means. Definitely better than I assumed it would be for this part of the trail. But feeling better than I expected I would, so I'm planning right now to try and make it to Hauser Creek, which is at mile 15. And I think I've got like 700 more feet of elevation to climb, and then it's either mostly level or downhill to get to that creek. So I should be able to make it. Should have plenty of daylight to get there, and I'm feeling pretty good so far. This is the current view from where I'm taking a break here. It's kind of a little burned out area, and not as scenic as most of the trail has been so far, but there's a little bit of shade here, which I'm finding to be in pretty short supply. So it seems like I'm gonna have to take advantage of it when I find it. So I'm about 10 miles in right now. Just stopped for another break here. I've got about 6 miles, I think 5 or 6 miles more to go for where I plan on getting to today. So I just stopped, gonna take off my shoes and socks, let my feet dry out. And I noticed this quickly, I already have this much of a dirt tan line. So I don't think I'll really need much sunscreen on my legs since I have that much dirt there. For food for the first leg of the trip here, my aunt made me a dozen burritos. So I'm hauling a dozen burritos, a bunch of Cliff Bars, some prunes, but mostly burritos. Burrito number 1 is very tasty. Thank you, Aunt Debbie. Well, it's day 2. I made it yesterday, the first day, to mile 15.4 to Hauser Creek. I set up the tent as soon as I got there and just immediately went to bed. I was pretty tired, but my legs are actually holding up quite a bit better than expected so far. So I've just gone a few more miles here today so far. There was an immediate, I think 12 or 1400 foot climb to get out of the canyon that I stayed in last night. And so now here I'm looking at Lake Morena, where the trail goes to. So I think it's maybe another mile or possibly 2 to get down there. But yeah, just taking a quick break, eating another burrito. Well, I made it to Lake Morena at mile 20. It's 10:30 right now. I've been taking a break here for a little while. I'll probably stay till 11 or so, just get a good break in, and planning on going another 12 or so miles today yet, to make it about 17 for today. They've got kind of just a nice little gazebo hiker area here. It's like a normal Forest Service campground, so there's like some RVs and stuff here. There's my shoes and socks drying in the sun. I've just got my feet out to get those nice and dry. My first creek crossing that involves getting my feet wet. Right under a bridge. Day 3, I just left camp a little bit ago. I did 17 miles yesterday to get to the mile 32 marker. So now I'm just heading up to Mount Laguna, which is about 8 miles away from where I'm at now. And just stumbled upon this sign, unexploded ordnance. So I'll stay on the trails. I have officially made it to trees. I'm pretty close to Mount Laguna, and I'm finally starting to get out of this desert scrub brush stuff and get into some pine trees. Thank goodness. Well, I just experienced my first trail magic. Came around the corner up by Mount Laguna, about 2 miles from Mount Laguna, and there was this couple there that are doing some kind of photography project of PCT hikers. And so in exchange for taking my picture, they had beer and pop and fruit and all kinds of different snacks. And then apparently they're gonna email the portrait that they took to me as well. But it was just like a really professional type of setup that they had going. But really nice people. So first trail magic, that was exciting. I just left Mount Laguna, and while I was in Mount Laguna at the visitor center using the bathroom, got my second piece of trail magic. A guy from Michigan who's hiking the trail has his brother following him in his RV for resupply and just to meet him at trailheads and roads. But chatted with him for a while, and they gave me a free beer, and pretty cool. Good view here. It's 5:30, and I just got set up for my camp. Super windy. I think I'm about 4 or 5 miles past Mount Laguna and going along some exposed ridgeline. I mean, it had to be at least 60-mile-an-hour gusts. It was blowing me right off my feet. I was having to use my trekking poles just to keep myself standing. So I got to this slightly more sheltered area here. Still pretty windy. As soon as I set my tent up, it was already pulling the stakes out. It just died down just a little bit, so I'm hoping it gets better tonight. But pretty much just had to use a bunch of logs and little rocks and everything else I could find just to try and keep my stakes in the ground. So hopefully it holds. I'm still new to this tent, so I'm not really sure how it does in weather. But I guess we'll find out. Day 4 and I'm off. Really good view here. A lot of mountains in sight. You can see way out into the desert valley. And I think off in the distance that's Mount San Jacinto with all the snow. Which if all goes well, I should be crossing that in I think about a week or so. Maybe a little more. Depends. Yeah, really pretty here. can see a long ways out there. Really cool trail here. I think I'm around mile 53 or 54, but you can just see forever. And the trail just follows this slope. And so you're just walking along and this is your view. I mean, I highly doubt the camera's going to be able to pick it up, but you can see probably close to a couple 100 miles, I bet. Mountains way off in the distance. Day 5, about 10 o'clock right now. Been hiking for close to a couple hours, and I'm just making my way towards Julian. They've got free pie there for PCT hikers, and I might need to get about a day's worth of food to make it to the next stop. Pretty good view in here. Day 6, about 9:30 in the morning, just started a little bit ago. I made it about 17 miles yesterday to get to Scissors Crossing. Hitchhiked into and out of Julian, got some free pie, and just ate at a restaurant for the first time on trail, so that tasted good. And then I ended up sleeping underneath the highway overpass bridge next to a water cache. Had a terrible night's sleep. The wind kept picking up and knocking my tent over. But, oh well, I'm feeling pretty good actually right now. Took a couple caffeine pills. And now I've got pretty much all uphill today. About 14 miles to the next water cache. I've officially completed 100 miles of the PCT. And I gotta keep moving, because it's cold and windy. Day 7. I made it 24 miles yesterday, which is quite a bit more than what I was wanting to do. I wanted to stop at about mile 18 yesterday, but the campsites that were there were either on the side of a cliff and super exposed to all the wind that was going on, so they were just not going to work, or the campsites that were supposed to be there were washed away. So I just had to keep walking until I got to where I am now, which is where I spent the night. But yeah, 24 miles. Not planning on doing that. I'm actually feeling pretty good today. My ankles both hurt pretty bad, but other than that, my muscles are all doing pretty good. Only used not even 2 full liters of water to go that full 24 miles yesterday. And so I carried 5 liters leaving Scissors Crossing 24 miles ago, and so I still have 3 left, and I only have 8.4 miles to get to Warner Springs, so I'll be going that full distance just with what I was carrying. So that's a good feeling. That's good to know for the longer carries coming up, the stretches without water. But it was a cold, windy day yesterday, so I wasn't sweating very much either. But I'm just going to eat some breakfast. I just got packed up. I'm just kind of taking my time today since it's a short day, and I'm getting picked up by my aunt to take a couple days off trail. But get some food and then get the last 8.4 miles until Warner Springs. It's Monday, April 8th. My aunt picked me up from the PCT on Saturday in Warner Springs. I made it to mile 109 and a half. And she picked me up there to bring me off trail for a couple days just to rest and relax and get ready for the next stretch. So I'll be heading back to the trail in the morning. So basically just today, resting my feet, getting my gear organized. I'm going to go through it again and get rid of some more stuff that I figured out I don't need. And also my feet, I figured out, got swollen pretty big just during the first week of hiking. So I actually ordered some new shoes from REI, so we're going to go pick those up later today. And so I'm actually going to try going up 2 sizes. My feet swelled up that much. So I normally wear a size 12, but I ordered a size 14 in the same shoe. Just to accommodate for the swelling and everything else. But they're still pretty tender, but I think by tomorrow they'll be a little bit better, and with some ibuprofen I should be fine to keep on walking. But yeah, I'll be back on the trail in the morning.